So, welcome to another unboxing video from theplayersaid.com. My name's Alexander, and today we're taking a look at Front Towards Enemy, which is brand new from Multi-Man Publishing, or MMP. Now, MMP is known for some of the very, very big games, like OCS or GTS series, or they're known for their very, very famous, and also huge in a different way, tactical game, Advanced Squad Leader or ASL. And this is an entirely different offering from them. It is another tactical game, as you can imagine, with the Claymore on the front. This is Vietnam. This is a tactical game in a box. You don't have to buy all the extra things, or there's not a whole bunch of it. This is a single title, and it's designed by Joe Chacon. And we just picked this up. This was released at WBC. We just got this there. So we wanted to crack it open. This is the hot stuff. I know it's been on their pre-order and kind of coming in their design and development for a few years. Finally got it. Let's take a look at what you get in this box. So it's a kind of a 1.5 inch box, and we'll get to it right here. So the first thing we've got, so we got a couple of dice. It looks like we've got, I don't know if there's any more, looks like not. So there's a D10 and a D6. I know combat's resolved on a D6, on a D10, I apologize, blue D10. The D6 is for, it's scatter for artillery and things like that. But most of the rolling you'll do with a D10. So here we have two full maps, and we'll get to these in just a second. Alright, this copy of Front Towards Enemy includes an additional small sheet of counters, 28 searching. These are replacements for the copy of sheet 2, which are printed with incorrect information. Okay, so there's a tiny bit of counter errata, but they caught it in the printers, it looks like, and they've already included it in here. So we've got first counter sheet, second counter sheet, third counter sheet. Okay, and this is what they were talking about here. So these are the additional counters. So we've got a -1 DRM, +1 for the foxholes, +2 for the bunkers, and +2 for concealed. Searching, -1. Conceal, okay, right, so these concealed markers have a +2. These ones, for some reason, the layering didn't work and they don't have any modifier on them. So and that's kind of why they included those. Same with the foxholes and the bunkers here. So that's good to know that they caught that and they solved it, so that's pretty nice. I presume subsequent printing runs won't have that. So this is sheet 2, sheet 1. Alright, let's take a look at the units, because this is immediately one of the coolest parts of this game, is the units and the artwork here. Look at these fire teams. How cool is that? So there's 4 guys on a team, and then you get to your platoon leader up here on his little radio. How cool is that? Platoon sergeant over here. And you have an M60 MG team with 3 guys. And you've got 81mm mortars with 3 guys on. And the number of guys on the counter is very, very important. Down here you've got some specialists. You've got medics, FO teams, so your forward observer for artillery. And then you've got LRRP teams. On the back you have reduced sides. So if you look, the fire team now only has 2 dudes in it. And all the weapons teams have kind of 1 or 2 at best. But I just think, I don't know, I really like the counter art. You got the Hueys here as well. You got different slicks and hogs, different variations. APCs, well, I guess, yeah. And then a couple of Cobras. And they also have a destroyed side to them, which is just very intense. And then over here, you've got these are NVA, I believe. There's a couple of, do they have them in this one? Yes. So these are NVA. And again, you've got fire teams, heavy weapons teams, different sappers down here, and there's some dummy units as well. And battalion mortar targets and things like that from off map. So they do have here some of the Black Pajama VC, and then you can get a ton more dummy units as well. And another important thing you'll see here is some civilian counters. And those are very, very important. There's a whole bunch of them, because the VC can hide amongst the civilians, or they won't, and miss collateral damage, or you're able to like interrogate the civilians and find out where the VC are. Just some really cool nuance. It's not just a war game. It is a war game, but like there's some extra layers to the missions you have to do. Over here we have some wounded in action tokens. Whoops. And these are just falling off the spruce, as you can tell. Wounded in action tokens, very, very important. If you look on the back of them, these are KIA tokens. So the way that this one works, and this is one of the things I'm actually most excited for. So you've got your regular fire teams and all that. If these guys take a wound, sure they'll get flipped to their reduced side, but you also put out a wounded in action marker with them. There's literally a guy wounded on the battlefield, and there's a dice roll to see if his wound will either kill him, or if he'll succumb to it, or if he'll kind of stabilize. And that's what the medics are for. So you have to call your medic over to this side of the platoon for him to treat a guy, and then you got to call in your Hueys to medevac these guys out. And to doing so, you'll gain, or you'll lose victory points at least. The longer you wait, the more likely it is that the person is going to succumb to their wounds. So there's this extra layer of what I would call realism in a Vietnam tactical game. Guys just don't die. No man left behind was such an important part of these contacts, that having it in the game, and frankly, in a fairly simple way, it is something I'm very excited to play with and to see how that works, and to try and make it go and make a mission that might be going horribly at least have some kind of a success in the end by saving everyone. Because the reality is it doesn't add that much of a layer of complexity. So I did something that Joe showed us I'm very, very excited for. There's a bunch of then different markers as the rest of the counter sheets here. So we've got this broken markers, searching markers, activation complete markers. Again, these are the ones which are going to be replaced, and they're double-sided with some suppression, more concealment, op fire. And then over here we've got more concealed markers, more broken markers, and these correspond to each different side. You can see these are the gray ones for the Americans, the kind of tan ones for the NVA, and again, same difference, a couple of different markers here. Oops. So decent amount of counters. Decent amount of counters. 3 sheets, but nothing crazy. Front towards enemy, MMPs, kind of contact details if you want to get in contact with them. And then we have the rulebook, and again, here we go. This is really 20 pages of rules. 20 pages of rules for a tactical game, damn good. This is a glossy rulebook, actually a fairly large type font, and then also a good amount of diagrams and pictures. So again, a simple game in the sense that rules easy to digest, but nothing crazy. So we also have in here a bunch of, let's see, play aid sheets. Random piece of blue paper at the bottom. Alright, so the play aid cards, it looks like, alright. So we have search and destroy. These are missions. No? Yes. Yes. Okay. So these are missions. I believe there's 8 missions. So this is kind of the first one, search and destroy. So it tells you duration 36 game turns. Mission. The American player picks his AO. Mustang West A or Mustang East B. So again, there's 2 maps and we'll look at those. This tells you where you're going to play your mission. And you can kind of choose. Force loadout. Americans got to go and smoke these guys out and destroy them. Recon and force. This has the civilians here and some dummy units hiding the VC. Intense. Okay, so there's one. Then there's a regular attack mission, a block mission, defend until relieved. So this is hang on for dear life, presumably till the choppers come. Eagle flight. Season secure. We've got some tunnels here you gotta flush them out with. And then different Hueys here that are gonna drop guys off. Ambush and extraction. Okay, these are the play aids, alright. Helicopter load manifest. So each helicopter can have, I think he said 7 guys can ride in a helicopter. And so you'll have, you remember there was 4 guys in a fire team, 3 guys in a weapons team. You've got to put your guys in here as their various loadouts. And there's a victory point check, chart, and a turn track. This is evade and escape. This looks, this is a learning scenario. So is this daytime ambush. So more scenarios. I think there's 10 scenarios there. Then we have sequence of play, infantry actions, victory point charts, where you're going to get them from or lose them, fire request tables, tables and charts, terrain effects, and this is an identical one of these here. So each player is going to get one. And so let's take a look at the maps here. We've got, let's see, I think, well, alright. So this is the first map. Okay, this is map A. I did a good job of picking it. Okay. So it's 22 by 34. You can see your hexes, and what you'll see in the middle of each hex are these black, white, brown, and this is yellow here. This is white, yellow. So there's the dots in the centers of those hexes that give you an indication of what the actual terrain type is. Obviously there's elevation lines and ridges on the hills. You can see there's big hills over here and huge hills with jungle over down here. You got some fields, paddies down here as well with the river going through. Nice little village here and a village down there as well. You'll see this is the kind of little scatter chart where you're going to roll that d6 if you need to. And then there's some dotted pathways that are going to connect things, and also probably be booby-trapped if you're any good at playing the MVA and BC. The other map, let's crack this one open. This is map B. And so this one you've got one massive hill complex over there. This one's got a lot more lowlands, kind of a lot of the open space, probably some, I don't know if this is marsh or bamboo fields, and then a small ridge line here. And the important part of this is that these are geomorphic, at least to an extent. So I think we can stick them side by side here, and you'll see they line up nicely. If you get them under glare, these line up perfectly on this side. And I believe you can also line them up this way as well. There's one other way they line up, maybe it's the other way. Because I know there's a mission where, here we go, I think this way they're going to line up, maybe. I'm not sure. I think there's one of the maps they said where you put them kind of lengthways together and the NVA have to rush all the way across the map, and it's the Americans have to airlift in and intercept them and kind of set up a line, so it's kind of like a meeting engagement, which I think is a really cool mission. But these are the two maps. They're single-sided, but I really like these. I don't know. You play on certain parts of them on the smaller scenarios, like you're trying to take Hill 2, 3, 4, for example. But a lot of them is you're playing on the whole map, and it's picking if and where you're going to go, and you've got to fly in your choppers across the map. So I'm excited to play this one. It looks great. The rules are simple, but I think the chrome aspects of it are more than just some added chrome. I think they can add a lot to this and give you a really good tactical Vietnam feel. So we'll get this one punched and clipped, and then you'll see a review of this one hopefully coming sooner rather than later. So appreciate you guys tuning in, and I've been Alexander from theplayersaid.com, and this is Front Toward Enemy from MMP.